Hello and welcome into this week's NASCAR K&N Pro Series Rewind show right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host, Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. On today's K&N East Rewind, the final K&N East Rewind, not only of 2019, but it will be the final K&N East Rewind period, as this is the final race under the K&N Pro Series East name. Again, if you missed the announcement, next year it will be the ARCA Series East, as that all gets brought into the fold together. If you missed the details on that announcement, we do have an RNN News Break linked down below in the description with all the details you need for that to know what is happening next year with the ARCA Series and K&N Pro Series merging, because we got some more details on that this week. But we're here to talk about the final K&N East race of 2019, and that was the General Tire 125, 125 laps, 125 miles around the 1 mile Dover International Speedway in Dover, Delaware. Traditional season ender for the K&N Pro Series East for the last few years. Not a lot of cautions in this race, no cautions whatsoever for incidents, and honestly, this was a little bit of a boring race. Honestly, I was fairly captivated throughout this entire race. It wasn't super boring, but it wasn't super exciting either, because it was a 14-car race at Dover, and you had one car kind of running away with it. Again, as I will defend until the day I die, car counts aren't a big deal. But in this case, we didn't really have all that many competitive cars. We had maybe 7 competitive cars that really realistically could have won this race, or at least could have challenged to win this race. And even at that, the number dwindles as you look at which cars realistically had the speed to run for the lead in this race. And I think realistically it was only about 3 or 4. And there was just that one car that just kind of ran away with it. So between that and really no cautions for incidents, there wasn't a lot happening in this race. First caution came at lap 30. It was the first scheduled break of the race for pit stops. Second caution was at lap 60 for debris in turn 2. And the final caution was at lap 80 for the second scheduled break of the race. Only 2 leaders in this race. Sam Mayer led from the drop of the green flag from the pole. He was fastest in practice and started on the pole and led the first 32 laps of the race. Tanner Gray was credited with leading lap 33 as he got the jump on the restart after the first break. He led lap 33, but Mayer very quickly reassumed the lead on that lap and continued to lead from lap 34 to lap 63 for the next 30 laps, before Tanner Gray again got the jump on lap 64 off of the debris caution, led a lap there, and then Sam Mayer reassumed the lead on lap 65 and never looked back until lap 125, leading the final 61 laps, leading 123 of the 125 laps on his way to the win and the 2019 K&N Pro Series East Championship. Again, as we talked about after the last race at New Hampshire, he had a 30-point lead coming into this race. Technically, he had to finish 27th or better in this race to win the championship. We only had 14 cars, so honestly, even if he hadn't started the race, he was your 2019 K&N Pro Series East champion. So congratulations to Sam Mayer. It is official now, and what a way to go out this season with a big win, a dominating win at Dover. Tanner Gray put up a good fight, had a really fast car, just didn't quite have what he needed to get up there to Sam Mayer. Followed across the line by a couple of his teammates here. Todd Gilliland in the third position. Had tracked down Tanner Gray at the end of the race. Just didn't quite have enough laps to take that second spot from his teammate Tanner Gray. And Drew Dollar makes his return. Haven't seen him for a few K&N East races. He does make his return this week in the 17 car to finish in the 4th position. And Chase Cabry, Sam Mayer's biggest championship threat throughout the last half of the season, rounded out the top 5 in 5th. Rest of your top 10, Max McLaughlin changed out an engine earlier in the day and then had a little bit of an engine scare in the middle of the race as well, but was able to finish and come home with a solid 6th place finish. Spencer Davis in 7th. Ruben Garcia 8th. Brandon McReynolds in 9th. And Justin Carroll with a top 10 finish in 10th. Final page 11 through 14th. Sam Hunt down here driving his 18 car this week in place of Colin Garrett. Came home in the 13th position. And Stephen Parsons making a return to the K&N East this week, driving the 38 car. He finished in the 14th position. All right, so we are working on a Sam Mayer interview. Of course, we will be at the track with ARCA tomorrow, or I guess technically today now, once this finally goes out, on Saturday for their race at Lucas Oil Raceway today. So the plan is to get our winner interview with Sam Mayer for this race at the track at Indianapolis. That seems to be the easiest way to get that done now, because he's got to get to Indianapolis overnight, get ready, get to the track, that kind of thing. So realistically, there was probably no way we were going to get him between the end of this race and by the time everybody got to the track in Indianapolis. So it makes more sense to just kind of get that done at the track tomorrow or today. So keep an eye out for that sometime during the day today. We will do our best to get that up for you during the day today once we get a chance to talk to him at Indianapolis. So keep an eye out for that, your winner interview and your champion interview for Sam Mayer for the K&N Pro Series East. So let's take a look at the final point standings for the K&N Pro Series East for 2019. The final K&N Pro Series standings, K&N Pro Series East standings ever, as again, this will be the ARCA Menard Series East starting in 2020. Sam Mayer ends the season with a 39-point lead over Chase Cabry. Tanner Gray fought his way back to the third position at the end of the season, technically tied with Spencer Davis, but does have the tiebreaker. So Tanner Gray came home in the third position with Spencer Davis dropping to fourth. Max McLaughlin held on for a fifth place finish in the standings. Ruben Garcia there in the sixth position. And then, of course, Derek Kraus didn't run most of the races in the latter half of the season. We thought he possibly could be the first driver to win both the East and the West Championship in the season, but that kind of fell through later in the season. He ended up in the seventh position. Colin Garrett there in eighth. We didn't see him the last couple weeks of 2019 either. Drew Dollar, after taking a couple weeks off, he returned this week and jumped up to the ninth position in points above Haley Deegan, who only ran a couple of K&N East races this season. But that is your final K&N Pro Series East standings for the 2019 season. Again, congratulations to Sam Mayer for this championship. He definitely was the dominant car this season, and it is very good to see that come to fruition, and really nice to see such a dominating run out of the champion in the final race of the season. There was nobody touching him today in Dover, and it was really cool to see. He really put on a championship showing today from Dover yesterday. I'm getting that confused because technically I'm even recording this after midnight, breaking the fourth wall here. But so I'm even getting that confused. Technically, even as I'm recording this, it wasn't today. So getting my days mixed up. I don't even know what day it is anymore. They all kind of run together anymore. But again, congratulations to Sam Mayer. Very well-earned championship, and we'll see if maybe he can get that first ARCA win today from Indianapolis. But again, ARCA Rewind show coming up tonight for their race from Indianapolis, as well as probably an Xfinity Rewind tonight as well for their race in Dover. Cup Rewind coming up Sunday evening for their race from Dover as well. And then should be the return of Rookie Stripes this week on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Hopefully we can get things sorted out for that, and we can get Russell back over here to record the second episode of that. Diecast Review is always coming up on Wednesday as well. Actually, maybe a K&N car to look at this week, so that could be an interesting one. If it's not next week, it'll probably be next week for that, but I want to keep that as a bit of a surprise. So if you haven't done it already, you need to go down below, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. You don't want to miss that Sam Mayer interview today, talking about this win from Dover and his championship in 2019 in K&N East. But while you're down there hitting that subscribe button, make sure you hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It is much appreciated when you do that. But at that, this has been the NASCAR K&N Pro Series Rewind Show. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.